I believed in the Reyes resurgence. I wanted to believe that he was going to make it back to the title picture, even though my mind was telling me Oldberg. My heart told me Reyes, and I went with my heart, bro. I went with my heart. All credit goes to Oldberg, man. He was effective in controlling the center, cutting off escape pass and pushing Reyes backward to a point Reyes couldn't land his best shots clean. Reyes also appeared tentative to engage. Oldberg started landing sharper jabs and body shots, softening Reyes' guard. Oldberg capitalized on Reyes moving forward and then came with the left hook, right straight, and another right while he was down. First round TKO. It seemed like Reyes was feeling the pressure of the moment, and Oldberg was just calm and collected. I still don't think he beats Uncle Ive, but congrats to Oldberg, man. But I'm going to be going through it tonight, brother. Did you catch that post-fight call-out? I'm coming! Oh, man, some things are just better left unsaid. I'm sure the UFC is going to give him the title shot after that performance. Since Yuri and Khalil have already fought for the belt, and considering that Yuri and Khalil might end up in a war, and they're going to need some time off, I could see whoever the winner of Ankalaev and Pereira is, which I'll get to in a bit, is going to fight Oldberg next. I'm sad, man. I don't have words to explain it. I feel worse than the first time I got my heart broken. I might just lock myself in the restroom and cry in field position. Because another fight that got me was Matthews versus Magny. Bro, I had a feeling he was going to win. I didn't lock in that pick. Fuck it. From now on, I'm just going to go with my initial picks. I'm done teeter-tottering. Because when I teeter-totter, I don't get that shit right. And the ref almost saved that pick, man. But instead, he decided to gaslight us that the round was over and the fight wasn't finished. Magny won a fight he was losing. He really is the ultimate gatekeeper. Anyone that has gotten past Magny are the real contenders of welterweight. Decent fight card. Majority of New Zealand, Australian fighters won, so good for them. Well, let's get that out of the way. And let's talk about some of the MMA news from this past week. I got to talk about the Ankalaev and Pereira run-in at the UFC PI. These dudes were having an argument over Google Translate, which is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. They couldn't even fully react to what the other was saying because they had to wait for it to get translated. With that fight coming next week, I still believe Ankalaev will win, but it might be harder than last time. If what Pereira is saying is true, then he might be in better health this time around, but that also means Ankalaev will be better as well. I'll talk more about that this coming week. And then Mateusz Gamrot stepped in for Fiziev against Charles Oliveira, which I believe is a more favorable matchup for Charles, and now it's less likely that he will get knocked out. But I wouldn't count out Gamrot's wrestling. He did stand toe-to-toe with Arman in the wrestling after all. I still predict Charles Oliveira will take the W. I'm not counting out Gamrot. But I will say that I am less nervous now than I was when he was up against Fiziev. Because Fiziev had enough power to knock out a Charles Oliveira that's making a quick turnaround after getting knocked out by Ilia Topuria, who is arguably one of the hardest punchers in the UFC right now. Another fight with a replacement was Rainer de Ritter versus Brandon Allen. Allen is stepping in for Hernandez, which kind of works in our favor. Even though I still believe the RDR and Fluffy fight is a better fight, but hear me out on why I believe this works in our favor. RDR will beat Allen, which will then lead to the dream fight. Dricus du Plessis versus RDR. The dream ain't dead yet, boys. We might end up seeing this fight after all. This universe has a weird way of working, and it's working in our favor at the moment. Another topic I was going to talk about was the Jake Paul versus Tank fight. But I changed my mind. So, you know how I was confident that Conor was going to fight on the UFC White House card for sure? Now, I don't know if that's the case. He made a demand that he will only fight if he gets paid $100 million for the fight, which I can see the UFC doing. But what I don't see them doing is the 100 golden visas for friends and family. Is Conor trying to price himself out? I thought he was excited to fight on this card. Is Conor just being Conor? You know, Coke Conor, stand your base Conor? It's hard to tell, but that kind of talk is making me doubt if he will be on the card now, if I'm being honest. And lastly, was Dana right about Ngannou? Ngannou has vacated the PFL belt, and from what I hear, he might fight another boxing fight. I just feel that PFL put all their eggs in the Ngannou basket and realized maybe he isn't bringing in good ROI for them. He no-showed the Africa event. He's only fought once in the PFL. His pay-per-view buys for his boxing fights were not as big, and neither were his views on the fight against Renan Ferreira. I think it's safe to say that Ngannou was a bigger star with the UFC, even though I know he's made more money outside of it. Maybe Dana was right. Not 100%, but close to it. Maybe he was a little bit difficult to negotiate with. I mean, other than Ngannou, does anyone really care what's going on in PFL? I don't. Well, that's the end of the video. I'm gonna go cry now over the Reyes loss. So technically this is an instant reaction, but I fell asleep counting sheep in the middle of editing. And then I had to get up early in the morning and go to work. And I was still upset when I woke up about Reyes. So upset that my boss told me to go do something and I slept him. Like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, X, and TikTok at the BeaverX, and I'll catch you in the next one.